Welcome back. 6:43 is your time this morning. First, it was Water World. The popular Federal Heights Water Park announced it will not open for the summer for the first time in its 40-year history.
And we learned yesterday the city of Lakewood won't be opening any of the pools it operates. The question now this Memorial Day weekend, are neighborhood pools next?
The prospect brings plenty of opinions. That's why Denver 7's Eric Lufer is going 360.
This weekend is typically the unofficial kickoff to summer. But this isn't a typical year, and it started Tuesday when Waterworld announced it would stay closed this summer.
We just really didn't feel that we had all of our questions answered, and obviously the safety and well-being of our guests, it's everything really.
But the verdict is still out for neighborhood pools. Most homeowners associations are at the least delaying pool openings, grappling with the decision to open or not to open. So we're taking a dip into this 360, talking to homeowners who have strong opinions on what should happen. You'll hear from an HOA on how it's coming up with a plan of action, and a physician will weigh in on just how dangerous pools are when it comes to COVID-19. We start in Castle Rock, the Terrain neighborhood. The HOA, Castle Oaks Estates, runs both pools in the neighborhood. They won't open as scheduled this weekend.
Under the Safer at Home guidelines that we're currently under, there's pretty clear guidance that we shouldn't open it. And in the absence of any clear guidance for going into the next chapter, we're just going to err on the side of caution until those guidelines come out.
Chris Cate is the Castle Oaks Estates secretary and says the potential of opening could be a major liability, even if strict rules are enforced to keep people as safe as possible.
We bear some responsibility for taking the necessary precautions to make sure people are safe, but enforcing that and making it practical is a whole nother thing.
Just super disappointed. You know, my children we're looking forward to going outside and getting in the pool since everything else has been canceled.
Amber Karras is a Terrain resident, and although she understands the precautions, she hopes the HOA will at least get creative in a worst-case scenario.
We can stagger families where two families sign up at once, or one family comes and signs up, or in those early morning hours, if it opens at 6 a.m., if they can come in and, you know, a couple individual swimmers could do laps.
There's even a Change.org petition that asks Governor Polis to open up all pools to lap swimming as long as it's done safely. But what if your neighborhood pool doesn't open? What about those HOA fees you pay every month?
I think we should all be refunded if it doesn't open at all.
Amanda Vert lives in Green Valley Ranch with her husband. They've worked hard to be able to buy a home with the luxury of a neighborhood pool.
We pay for it every month as part of our dues, and for it to not open but be sitting there costing money to run it with the pumps on, with the heaters on, with the lights on, I think that's just wrong.
Cate says, depending on your HOA, if you do get a refund, it may not come in a lump sum. And for the Terrain neighborhood,
You'll get that refund in the form of a budget line item that comes in under what we expected.
the driver of all this, people's safety. Chances are you've heard by now what the CDC has released on COVID-19 in pools. That, quote, there is no evidence it can spread to people through water used in pools, hot tubs, or water playgrounds. Physician Eric Natkin agrees, but knows there's certainly more to it.
So the concern would be everything else. Not maintaining your social distancing of 6 foot. If you're not wearing a mask and you're talking and you're splashing around the pool, you're potentially spreading that virus out, at great distance. All the surfaces, doorknobs, whatever you're sitting on.
In a perfect world, we'd all be soaking up the sun poolside. But it's safe to say there's one thing we know for sure. It won't be one big free-for-all.
I don't think all the pools should just open. I think that'll make everybody go there, and then there's going to be more cases.
I think we're going to run it through 3 filters. The filters are, is it permissible by the state or county? Is it a potential liability that's really too much to take on? And then is it practical?
I'm Eric Lufer, Denver 7.
Sign of the times right now. Every homeowners association is different, so if you want to know what's going on in your particular neighborhood, stay up to date with your HOA. They should be sending out updates on their pool plans.
Again.